I'm going to present you 3 short videos on Procreate. The first one, this one, will be on the basics, how to use it and make it do anything. The second one will show you how I do my drawings, and the third one will show you a time-lapse photo of a full drawing all the way down to from photo to drawing to outline for the pattern. Okay? To start with, we're going to open Procreate. And when you open it up, this is what you see, all the work you've done recently. If you've never used it before, you will see 3 or 4, I forget how many, sample works. And you can go into those sample works and look at the layers and get an idea of how things were put together. Up here, you have in the right-hand corner, you have Select, which allows you to select a piece, and then you can preview it, share it, duplicate it, or delete it. You can import recent files. You can import a photo right there to start working on it. Or you can hit the plus sign for a new canvas, and that's what I personally do. When you hit that plus sign, you get a list of all the preset canvases that are in Procreate. You can also go here to this black box and create your own. You can set your width in pixels, or if you look down below, you could use inches, millimeters, you know. If you make your own, and you wanted to make it really large, you'll notice here at 72 dpi, it's too large to have any layers. Let's go back to pixels. Whereas a standard 14 by 1400 pixel canvas at 72 dpi, for example, you can have 530 layers to work with. So the more you go, the less you'll have in layers, but I'll show you how I open layers and combine them to reduce that problem going forward. For most of my work, that doesn't matter. I am ending up, for all the painting I do that you see on all these images, all I really want to work with is, in the end, is an outline. So I don't need much, and I can size that in other software for printing out. I usually use screen size or square, the top two. If you click on square, here's your canvas. And you can use 2 fingers to pinch and push to size it. You can turn it to rotate it any way you wish. In the top left-hand side, you have a wrench. And that add is what you'll use to insert a photo. Canvas. You can crop and resize. There are drawing guides. There are snap to guides for grids, for mirroring images. You'd then hit edit. Say you wanted to do symmetry. You have options. You can do a radial. You can make it assisted, which it'll do. It'll mirror the work for you. You can make it rotational, so that when you draw in one area, it'll put them in each quadrant. I'm going to clear. You can also take the drawing guide off. Sharing for, sharing as a JPEG or a TIFF or whatever. But video, that's one I want to tell you about. When you do anything in Procreate, what occurs on the screen is recorded. So we just put a quick drawing there, right? So let's replay it. Can't even see it. It's only 5 seconds long. Let's do some more. We'll change another color. Let's make a thicker pen. Okay, now when I hit replay, each thing that occurred shows up on that screen. So the problem is most of the time you don't need that replay. And when you delete a drawing you don't like, the recording doesn't delete with it. So I'm in the habit of, it takes space somewhere on your iPad. I don't even know where they live. I'm in the habit of turning off that recording. And then you'll get this screen, purge, don't purge. Hit purge, and you're done. Over here on the right side, you have your brushes. I like inking Studio Pen for my drawings because the Studio Pen makes nice solid lines without any roughness to them, which is what I want in the end for the outline. But you could use a number of different ones. I just like Studio Pen. There's that little hand is for, blurring, which doesn't come into play in what I do for my quilts. An eraser. I'm still on the assisted grid. That's why you see one will make all of those erasers. I can turn that off. I go over here to layers. That's layer 1, and you can see it says assisted. And I just go over here and turn off drawing assist, and then it's gone. This layer 1 I can clear, lock, or duplicate. I don't want it, so I'm going to clear it. Locking is very helpful if, for example, you're working with a photo. We're going back over here to add, insert a photo. We'll borrow this cow a moment. Okay, let's say I started to draw. I select my pen. I can draw right on the photo. If I lock my photo and I try to draw on it, I get this screen. Cancel, unlock, or open layers. You don't want to build up a drawing on top of a photo and then try to remove the photo because it will be part of the drawing. You've drawn on that layer. You can't erase without erasing the photo. It's on that layer. And trust me, eventually you will realize you've put part of your drawing on the photo. So I always lock that first layer. Over on the left side, there are 2 sliders. One is for the size of your pen. It varies based on the pen. For Studio Pen, I like 2%. And underneath that is a slider for transparency and opacity. And I keep that all the way up. In the center, there's a square that is a color picker, and you can move it around. The bottom part of the square, oops, I did it again. The bottom part of the square is whatever color is currently selected. The top half is the color of the circle, rather. The top half is the color that you're pointing to. You can also use your finger, which is what I generally do, and just hold your finger, touch and hold anywhere on the image to pull up a color. And you'll see the color up in the right-hand corner is changing as I go around. And then underneath those is undo and redo. So I can undo that green line. I can redo it. I can also tap my screen with 2 fingers to undo and 3 to redo. The layers themselves, what you put on layer 4, doesn't matter what the number says, but the layer here is under this layer. So what you draw here will be underneath here. You can then say you wanted it in front instead. You could touch, hold it, and bring it up and put it above. That's how layers work. You can turn them on and off, like I can turn off the cow so you can't see it and turn it on. And that's all you need to know to do what I do. Beyond that, it's a very powerful program. It has a ton of capability, but the basics to get going on it, that's all you need to know. Okay?